Hello, this is your professor, Dr. Culkin. I wanted to talk to you about some of the major points from the readings from Topic 1, World Empires. It's important to remember that people from 3 different cultures were meeting in the land we now refer to as the United States: Native Americans, Europeans, and Africans. Each group brought its own set of assumptions about the way society should be organized, its own belief systems, and its own traditions. Through a series of what historians now refer to as creative adaptations, they created a new world. The Columbian Exchange, named after Christopher Columbus, is a reference to the ecological transformation that occurred as Europeans and natives of North and South America met. Food and animals were introduced, transforming the diet and the way of life on both sides of the Atlantic. Tomatoes and potatoes went to Europe. Europeans brought sugar and horses. They also brought diseases to which the people of North and South America did not have immunity, and the most deadly of those was smallpox. As native populations began to die out, Europeans turned to Africa for a new source of labor. Eventually, over 10 million people arrived as slaves, over a third from areas in West Africa. And we'll talk more about the experience of slavery in Topic 3 in a few weeks. The Europeans who settled the colonies did so for a variety of reasons. Some were founded primarily for financial reasons. The English Crown issued charters for joint stock companies, in which a great number of people invested. It wasn't clear that these ventures would be successful. The people settling the land issued to the Virginia Company, established in 1607, struggled at first, only thriving after a settler named John Rolfe realized that there was a market in Europe for tobacco. The Pilgrims, although motivated by religious reasons, were also given a land patent through the Virginia Company, but ended up in Plymouth, in modern-day Massachusetts, in 1620. And in 1629, a group of Englishmen received a charter for the Massachusetts Bay Company and sailed the following year. The English Crown thought this was simply another business venture, but the company was founded by English Puritans who condemned the English Church and the government for what they saw as corruptions and their willingness to deal with Catholic nations. Massachusetts absorbed Plymouth in 1691. Unlike Virginia, the Puritan and Pilgrim settlers emigrated as families and were bound together with a sense of purpose through their shared religion. They also ended up surviving at a much higher rate. It's important to remember that while they wished to be free to pursue their own visions of Christianity, this did not translate into an idea about religious tolerance for all. Dissenters such as Roger Williams and Anne Hutchinson were exiled, and Williams ended up founding the village of Providence with a commitment to religious freedom in what would become Rhode Island. There were religious elements to some of the other colonies' founding as well. Silas Calvert founded Maryland in 1632, partly as a sanctuary for English Catholics, although it also welcomed Protestants. And in 1681, William Penn, a Quaker, which Quakers are another group of religious dissenters, was awarded the charter for Pennsylvania, which he envisioned what he called a holy experiment. Finally, I just want to mention New York. It was originally settled as New Netherland, founded by the Dutch in 1613. New York City was known as New Amsterdam. It was small but very diverse, with Dutch, English, Finnish, German, and Swedish immigrants, as well as a community of free blacks. Then in 1664, New Netherland became the property of the English, and that's when we end up with New York. Now, obviously, I've just covered a few of the colonies. Review the table on page 59 of the textbook, which offers an overview of the origins of the 13 original colonies and the reasons that they were founded. And make sure you complete the reading questions and participate in the discussion boards for this week, and I'll see you next time.